Thanks for listening to our podcast, unMetered. As a member-owned, not-for-profit electric cooperative, our focus is on providing affordable, reliable, safe electricity and outstanding member service. One way that we're doing that is by providing more avenues of communication to you, our member. Through the podcast, we hope that you will be able to find some helpful hints, tips, and things to help you conserve energy, as well as some informational pieces that will help you understand what it means to be a member. Thanks again for listening in to unMetered. Extremely excited to have you guys here. Of course, we're always glad for new subscribers and old subscribers alike to be following us on our podcast channel. You can also catch us on YouTube or Facebook. All these different places that you can go. Just go to the Middle Tennessee Electric YouTube or Facebook pages or unMetered on your podcast stations. Now, we do have, of course, we always like to remind people that to enroll in Sharing Change. It's the easiest good thing that you can do. You can do that by going to sharingchange.org, or you can call us at 877-777-9020, and one of our member support specialists will be able to help sign you up for that. Now, of course, if you've got a problem with a bill or any other type of issue that you need to report, you can always talk to our member support specialists. Again, that number is 877-777-9020. They'll be happy to help you in any way that they can. If you've got an outage, of course, the best way to report that outage is either by calling 877-777-9111, or you can actually report it on our new mobile app. The MyMTEMC mobile app just rolled out July 10th, so we're just over a month old, and we've already had thousands of people sign up for that. So you can actually report your outages, pay your bills, check your usage stats. Again, all of that can be done from either an iOS or Android device. So be sure to go to the Apple Store or Google Play and download those. So for this week, building on, last week I talked about the electrical shock. This week I've actually got a little more information for you about safety in the form of our safety demonstration trailer. Right now, our safety demonstration trailer is at the Williamson County Fair. In a couple weeks, it'll actually be at the Wilson County Fair, so there will be plenty of opportunity for you to see that. But our safety demonstration trailer is designed to bring some of the safety concerns that you might run into in such a way that you can actually see them. So they've actually got a trailer that they pull out, and they'll go through several scenarios and how you should react in those scenarios and why those outages are occurring. So be sure to check that out. So on Tuesday, I went out there and recorded the presentation for you guys to be able to listen in and kind of get a taste of what it's like. Of course, being there in person is so much better than anything that I can record. But again, so be sure to check those guys out. But take a listen as I turn it over to Greg Hale as he goes through the safety demonstration trailer out there at the Williamson County Fair, and hopefully you guys will enjoy that.
We're glad to be here. We want to try to teach you a little bit about electricity. First of all, quick introductions on who you see here. To my right, to your right, in the back, we got Chris Gossett. In front of him, we got Brad Kincaid. And on to my left, and to your left in the back, we got Adam Fuel, and in front of him, we got Mark Locke. They're all from the Williamson County area. I am being shipped in from the Wilson County area. My name is Greg Hale, and I am glad to be here with y'all tonight. We want to make this fun. We want to make this candid. We want to make this a good time for you. But in the same sense, we want you to understand that this is true electricity. It will kill you. Sometimes you think that you can get away with something, and you may be able to one or two times, but not every time. So we want to show you some different things about what electricity is and how it can hurt you, and like I said, even kill you. As they're getting the trailer ready to be energized, we will energize this trailer at 7,200 volts. The very top wire will have 7,200 volts going through it. In just a minute, you'll see a red light on the center pole start flashing. When you see that light at any time, you'll know that trailer has now the potential to have 7,200 volts. You'll see they've got these gloves on, they've got hard hats, and you can't hardly see their shoes, but they got overshoes on also. The shoes are rated at 20,000 volts. Their gloves are rated at 30,000 volts. What Chris just took off right there is a safety chain, what we call line grounds. That is the only way we can work on power lines with our bare hands, is to be inside of two of those or a set of those. So now you see the red lights flashing, and they're going to start closing in these what we call cutouts. As it comes across the top line, it comes into each one of these transformers on each end. comes down through the transformer. It reduces the voltage from 7,200 volts to 120, 240 going into your house. You'll see that there's a green transformer also on the trailer. Some of you have that in your front yard, which does not have any overhead lines. Everything is under the ground. We've got a scenario for that a little bit later to talk about underground utilities. But right now, let's talk about this right here. This is the weatherhead. This is what some people may see around their house, barns, sheds, whatnot, things like that. There's 3 sleeves right here. There's 1, 2, 3. You'll see there's silver. Turn it just a little bit where y'all can see that side right there. So everybody can kind of see those. Chris, he's qualified. He's, like I said, and you'll see he's really qualified a little bit later, do some different things. But last night, where'd you stay at? Did you stay at home or where'd you stay at? I stayed at Holiday Inn Express last night, so he's very knowledgeable about what he's going to do. He's going to get the ladder up. He's going to put it up on the side of the building. He's going to clean the gutters out. But he don't realize that there's no tape on those connections. And he's got his wife. She's hollering out, "Don't do it, honey." She said, "I got this. Don't worry." Oh, but wait a minute. And everybody does. And that's now. What he's got on is also fire retardant. He will not burn. Not for long. But anyway, he will not burn. That's what our fire retardant does. And he loves to draw an arc. Now, every time the red light goes off in the middle, the trailer's been de-energized. We're going to move to the next thing. Like I said, we talked about underground utilities. The green transformer on the trailer. It feeds your house just like those transformers on each end. Feed it in 7,200, comes out 120, 240. This green box in the middle of the arena here represents an underground dig-in. 811, call before you dig. It's a free service. You call 811. They ask you where you live, tell them what you're going to be doing, give them your address. 3 days later, you can start digging. Post holes, trees, whatever you're going to do, you've got to, by law, call 811. If you don't, you could get an electrical arc, electrical shock that could harm you, injure you, or you could be fatally injured. Now, you're going to see as we put the shovel into the ground what's going to happen. Now, that is literally a 35,000 degree arc. Surface of the sun is right at 9,000 degrees. We always thought it was hot. That's 4 times as hot. It will melt porcelain within a half a second or less. We've gone out on a lot of poles where lightning has struck or the power or the lines have come undone and come in contact with the ground, and it literally looks like candle wax. It's hard to describe how something that's so hard, like the porcelain on top of those transformers and like on that table right there, can be melted in just a split second. When we get done here tonight, we're going to allow you to come in and look at all this stuff too, put your hands on, ask questions, anything like that. We've got a lot of knowledge inside the bullpen tonight. If we don't know the answer, we will make up something to really make ourselves sound like we're smart. So you can ask us anything you would like. But seriously, on a serious note, we can answer any question you may have. Now, Chris is, like I said, he stayed at Holiday Inn Express last night. He knows all there is to know about electricity. What is that piece of equipment behind Chris? Does anybody know? Any of the old people know that? That's my age or older. What kind of antenna? TV antenna. That's what I used as a teenager so I could see 2, 4, and 5. You know, just those 4 or 5 channels that we got then. Nothing like what you get now, 150 channels. But I'm tired of looking at that. And I knew Chris stayed at Holiday Inn Express last night, so I knew he could help me get that down. So I said, "Hey, Chris, can you come over just a little bit and help me?" "Yes, sir," I like that. So I said, "All right, so just be careful. You know, power lines is up there, but hey, and literally don't run because of what he's fixing to do. Because if I run, you run, okay? So how about that deal? That's a good deal, okay? So Chris, go ahead and just help us get that down if you don't mind. But just be careful because if you don't, I'm just going to be quiet and you do your own deal. I just go ahead and do it. I don't care. Go ahead. Oh, I told y'all not to take off running. Now, he got in contact with the power lines. That's what you hear. Sometimes you hear that at your home. Sometimes you hear that when you're going down the road. You're like, what the world was that noise? It could have been that right there. If he had had his hands on that, he'd come in contact with that, that would have been very, very bad for Chris. Now, as we move on, we're going to talk about this piece of equipment here that they're fixing to hook up. That trailer is representing a car. And this is where I want to slow down a little bit and make sure everybody understands what I'm saying because this is very important. Probably everybody sitting in the bleachers, standing behind the bleachers, or anybody within the sound of my voice has had a car accident. I hope you haven't, but you probably have. If you've ever hit a utility pole, the power lines could come down on top of your car, on top of your vehicle. Now, we've got Miss Electra here. She comes to the fair this week. She's going to help us out, and we're going to put her in the car. Now, this is what you call touch potential. And whenever I say potential, all that is talking about voltage. But right now, she is sitting in a trailer or a car representation that is 7,200 volts. Right now, that is 7,200 volts. Nothing out of the ordinary, no joke. Only thing keeping that thing from blowing up right now is those little rubber tires that's about 3 inches between it and the ground. That's it. Now, we're going to let Electric get out. Electric's going to get out the wrong way. Touch potential. She's going to touch the vehicle and touch the ground. She's going to do it again. Now, we're going to take a hot dog, and we're going to put, that was the first time. We're going to take a hot dog, and we're going to put on her to represent our flesh. That is the only thing we can do to kind of get an idea of what the flesh will do under electrical arc. Electricity burns from the inside out. Does not burn from the outside in. It will get extremely hot inside of your body and your limbs, your anything that you touch, your extremities, and literally burn from inside out. So as you see, let me go your way. We're going to cook that hot dog, which is going to basically be, hit it one more time. Now, the outside is going to be cold to the touch, but the inside is not. Who wants to feel? Feel that, sir. Is that cold? Now I want you to look at the inside of that right there. Can you see the steam? It is literally steaming coming out of that hot dog. You can see where it's on the inside, where it burnt from the inside. Feel right there? Now feel the other side, how hot it is. A lot different. Put your finger on the inside, it's even hotter. Is it not? All right. Anybody hungry? These are free. Let me get back to this before we go too much further. When she got out of that vehicle, she stepped out instead of hopped out. If you're ever in an accident and you think there's a power line close or even touching your car, you're not to step out. Stay in the vehicle unless it's on fire or there's a reason why you should get out. Let us get there and do our job. And it will take us a little bit of time to get there, but let us get there. We do not want you to be injured just getting out of a vehicle that's come in contact with our power lines. You hop out of the vehicle, and you do not walk away from the vehicle. It becomes step potential, or it comes from touch potential to step potential. It's just like throwing a rock in a pond, and the ripples get bigger and bigger, and then they get softer and softer and softer and softer. The voltage is going into the ground, and there's a lot of voltage around that vehicle, and as you step away, now you're changing the voltage from where you were to where you're going. So you shuffle your feet to get away from that vehicle. There can be voltage or potential voltage up to 30 feet away from that vehicle. That's a 30 feet is almost as wide as what we have these barricades right here. Shuffle your feet or literally just hop away, and when you think you're far enough away, take a step real slow, and if you feel any kind of tingle, continue to hop until you do not feel that tingle, because you could get injured even though you're 10, 15, 20 foot away from your vehicle. All right, everybody good on that? Any questions on that before we move on? Everybody good? I hope you ever in an accident. I hope you never hit a light pole. Trust me, I hope you don't. All right, we got this little squirrel. She's female. She's got her eyebrows done. She's got her fingernails done. I don't know if you can hardly see that or not, but she's really dolled up for the Williamson County Fair. I need a lady that's a little bit hard-headed and a little bit stubborn. If we got one of them at all on the... She's pointing to her, so that means you're pretty stubborn and hard-headed because you're right off the apple tree, right? So what's your name? Hannah? Are you stubborn and hard-headed? Yeah. Yeah, if I have to be, I will. All right, Hannah, can you be really loud? Yeah. Can you really be loud? Like right now? I want you to really be loud. Okay. Come on, really? Give me something. Lord have mercy. All right, Hannah. Can you say, Hannah, stay off the power lines? Louder than that? That's a lot better. Now we're talking. Now, as long as you're saying that, she should not get on the power lines, right? Right? You better be saying something because she's getting on the power lines. She still can't hear what you're saying. Tell her again. Please hurry. And now, guess what? Hannah has a do-or-die mentality. She did it, and now she's dead. So, that being the case, a lot of our outages at Middle Tennessee Electric are because of animals, whether it be squirrels, birds, snakes. As I told earlier, we've had possums, we've had pet chickens, we've had buzzards, we've had just about anything you can think of to get into our transformers and cause outages. So, as we get it refused, all the lights comes back on, and we're good to go. Now, we're going to talk about this ladder right here. Remember before we talked about the arc voltage heat rating of about 35,000 degrees. Now, as you see what Brad's fixing to do with this ladder, it's a metal ladder. A lot of people think that just because you got a fiberglass ladder that you can get close to power lines, but you cannot. That is a metal ladder. Think about your hands being on the metal ladder and getting too close to the power lines. Very big arc. If you would like to get a picture of that, you can get one. Very good video at night. And that's what it is. Now, please be careful. Anytime you're putting a ladder around our power lines, please be careful. Let Middle Tennessee Electric do our job. We're here to serve the members. We want to do our job as far as coming out, checking things out for you, helping you do stuff to keep yourself from getting injured or killed. All right, we ready to roll? Keep going? All right. I need if somebody's had a birthday lately. Anybody at all? That is perfect. All right. What is your name, little man? Jack. When was your birthday, Jack? 28, you sure? All right. Did you have any of these at your birthday party? Well, guess what? You've got one now. We're going to sing happy birthday to Jack. And then we're going to see what happens to these old Mylar balloons whenever we go outside and let them go, because they always seem to attract going to the power line. So on three, everybody's got to help me sing to Jack, happy birthday, and then we're going to let the balloon go. So 1, 2, and 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to Jack. Happy birthday to you. All right, way to go, Jack. All right, we're going to let the balloon go. And like I said, it goes up, up, and away, and it gets right where it's not supposed to be. Now, as that blows, you'll see that that balloon will make the lights go back on in the house if it becomes the bridge between that gap of where the fuse was. So just that balloon itself can cause us harm, not necessarily your lights going out. All right, as we're moving forward, we're going to talk about right-of-way. Middle Tennessee Electric prides itself in right-of-way. We take the power lines, we go 20 foot on either side, and we keep everything cut so that this does not happen. This is a Bradford paired limb. It's got a piece of copper wrapped around it just to help hold it onto the line. There's nothing special. There's nothing doctored up about this limb. We're just going to hang it on the line, and we're going to let you see what happens to the limbs once they go and hang on the power lines. Right off the bat, it starts smoking. In about a minute and a half, you're going to see a really good show. As it continues to dry out and as it continues to fry from the inside out, you're going to see it's going to start spewing in the middle. It's going to start, fire's going to start at the top, fire's going to start at the bottom, and it's literally going to meet in the middle. If you've got a chainsaw, you cut a tree down, it falls against the power line. We do not want you taking your hands and trying to push it off. Call us, let us do our job. You've heard me say that more than once tonight, but I'll say it again. Let us do our job. That's what we're here for. We want to serve the members, and that's what we want to do to keep you safe. Now, as you're seeing the pinholes come into the limb at the bottom, even at the top, that is literally it drying it out from the inside out. As it gets closer to the bottom, it's going to completely bridge across that in just a minute, and you're going to see a pretty good flash, so don't let it blind you or anything like that. Pretty good smoke. Oh, fire truck just left. We might need them. But we have fire extinguishers on site, and we are qualified to use them, and we're not scared to. You can hear it frying. The limb before us, it had a big old, sounded like a tea kettle there at one time. So you see it getting brighter. It's because it's getting dryer on the inside. You can see from the top and from the bottom where those little fine pinholes are coming in it. It's literally blowing the sap out of the limb. We hardly ever have this problem because, like I said, we do keep a great right-of-way, and that's something we pride ourselves on, to keep the members' lights on. Just a minute here. It ain't going to take much longer. I mean, where else can you watch this and have the music in the background? I mean, only at the Williamson County Fair. And when we get done, I'm going to bring it outside the bullpen. I want you to look at it up close. Multiple pinholes in it all the way up. Hit it. All right, let's look at this limb. Remember I told you a while ago about how the hot dog was hot on the inside and cold on the out? Same with this limb. The limb at the top, limb at the bottom. I don't know if I'll be able to handle that big stick. You can see it smoking, but I'm literally holding this, and it is not hot at all on that end. And you can see where it tracked all the way down. All the way down. Where's my toucher? Touch that right there. Is that hot at all? Yeah, touch it. Is it hot? Is that hot? Yeah, touch the middle. Is that hot? All right, we got one more thing to talk about, and that's that little generator sitting right there. Some people have these generators. Some people cannot be without electricity for no more than 30 seconds. If that's the case, they just go crazy. They got to have electricity. Got to have electricity. So they go out and they buy a generator. And when they buy this generator, they don't call a certified electrician to hook it up. They just do it themselves. So they take a long cord that looks something like this. Looks just like your dryer plug. 4 wires, 240-volt plug. I'm going to unplug my dryer. I'm going to take this long extension cord, and I'm going to take it outside to where my generator is, and I'm going to plug it into my generator. Then I'm going to plug this into my wall inside. I'm going to start my generator up, just like what Chris is fixing to do. And you're going to see a green light come on this first, or that red light. Let's swap it back to go to the green. We got a green light that comes on right there. That's telling us that everything is hooked up correctly. And when I mean correctly, that means there's no way there can be any backfeed onto the line. That is our number one killer of electric linemen, is a backfeed onto the line. If they're not hooked up correct, then they backfeeds through the line and comes up back onto the main line. So you'll see as they swap it over, the red light's going to come on, the green light's going to go off. And watch Brad right there as he traces out how the wire or how the electricity is flowing. It flows up through that weatherhead, comes back out through that line, goes back into the transformer. You're like, well, there's really nothing no different except one light's on, one light's off. Well, when he closes that switch right there, now we've got a different deal. You're like, well, what's the deal? Well, there's nothing no different. Well, let's go down through there to your neighbor. See down here where Mark is? Now he's supposed to close that one in. When he closes that one in, now his neighbor's lights are on, and just that one generator that you've got is feeding your house and your neighbor. That is what kills us. That's what kills you when you're out driving around and see a down power line. Somebody's hooked up a generator the wrong way. Now we're going to take this piece of wire right here, and we're going to show you that there's literally electricity right there flowing on that top line. There's nothing special about this at all. That's coming from that generator right over there.
Of course, we want to remind everyone that when you're having a backup generator installed, be sure to use a qualified electrician. Greg was about to say that stuff on there, but my recording kind of cut off on us, so he just was finishing and wrapping stuff up. But again, for those backup generators, be sure that you've got those installed correctly. Those are very dangerous for our linemen. And while yes, you may be powering your home, you could be creating a dangerous system further down the system. Thanks again for listening in. Hopefully you guys learned some things about safety and what causes outages, along with having a little bit of fun along the way. Again, be sure that if you're going to be at the Williamson County Fair, swing by the trailer. Those guys are going to be out there. They're going to be working it this weekend, and then they're going to be out at the Wilson County Fair. So again, You've got two opportunities to see this in person. The booms are louder, the bangs, the pops, all the fun stuff that goes along with it. It's better in person. So again, check those out. Again, if you've not enrolled in Share and Change, be sure to do that at shareandchange.org, or you can do so by going to our mobile app, MyMTMC, and you can download that from the Apple Store or through Google Play. So again, thanks for listening this week, and we look forward to seeing you next time.